some 10.2.6. Because we know this is going to be a pirate patch, whether it be the flag hanging from the banner of the patch cycle chart or, just some hints dropped from Blizzard. It looks like they're going to show some pirate love to the pirates of WoW. And yes, the pirates of WoW are legendary, in fact. I've always enjoyed pirate lore. I've enjoyed my time in Booty Bay and everything else that has to do with pirates. But what could 10.2.6 be about? Well, let's visit some of the pirate legends of Azeroth. Starting with the Night Squall. According to the lore books, Return of the Night Squall, he's an infamous night elf pirate who had been heard for many years, ever since he sailed west. The Western Ocean is thought to be impossible to cross due to the violent storms that destroyed any ships that try it. So many believe the Night Squall was dead. However, the book claims that he has returned with the hulls of ships full to bursting with treasures. What's more, the Night Squall claims to have a new prize in his crosshairs, and to claim it, he is recruiting all the pirates of Azeroth, whether the Irontide or Bloodsail, Defias or Freebooter, to his cause. Yes, the Night Squall is a funny story, but that's not the only reason we're leading to him. There is in fact reason to believe that 10.2.6 will have something to do with this character. During the announcement of 10.2.6, indeed, it has been kept off the PTR, but Holly Longdale created the Night Squall. Many of the community believe that he was the one who had ventured over to Avaloran, the forbidden continent from which nobody has ever returned. And yet the Night Squall seemingly had gone there and was looking to return once again. Eventually, while a lot of the community still believed that 11.0 would involve pirates and sea travel, Mike Ybarra tweeted out the phrase, "No pirates." So while it seemed that pirates were never planned to play a major role in the War Within, an event involving the Night Squall would make sense in 10.2.6. If Captain Night Squall has indeed discovered the new land beyond the western storms, that makes him truly remarkable. Perhaps this is why pirates of Azeroth, regardless of the pirate faction, are willing to follow him. Let's take a closer look at the ones mentioned in the book, the Irontide Raiders. If you don't know who these guys are, we first met the Irontide Raiders in Battle for Azeroth. Originally, they were formed from a crew captained by none other than Flynn Fairwind. You know that guy that we happened to quest a lot with back in BFA? Yeah, he was a bloodthirsty pirate at one time. We know that eventually he must have left that crew, and when he did, Harlan Sweetie, who was his first mate at the time, took over. Flynn lost his taste for piracy after a job went bad and decided to leave, simply disappearing one day. Afterwards, as I mentioned, Harlan gathered the nastiest from the crew and formed the Irontide Raiders. Under Harlan Sweet's rule, the Irontide were known to be ruthless and would only recruit those deemed cruel and heartless enough. During Battle for Azeroth, Harlan Sweet completely took over the once haven port of Freehold and kept it under Irontide rule. Eventually, Flynn himself recruited adventurers like ourselves to help take out the former first mate. It is unknown who leads the Irontide now, but they've clearly answered the Night Squall's call, as the Irontide pirates can be found in the Forbidden Reach following his orders to plunder secrets of the Dragon Isles in his name. They've already joined the Night Squall. Will they be the ones to lead us to the new continent? Next, a very famous and infamous group of pirates. One of my favorites, the Bloodsail Buccaneers. Perhaps the most infamous pirates of Azeroth, the Bloodsail Buccaneers once had a reputation for being the most bloodthirsty of all pirates. Not even other pirates were safe from their attacks. Historically, the Bloodsails have attempted to plunder the pirate city of Booty Bay more than once, but the city is under protection of the Blackwater Raiders, another pirate crew. To this day, if you venture out to Booty Bay, you can see people killing the Blackwater Raiders to gain reputation with the Bloodsail. Sometime after Cataclysm, the Bloodsail Admiral Eliza Goreblade discovered the Dreadblades, a pair of cutlasses designed by an Eridar of the Legion for a specific purpose of corrupting the mortals of Azeroth. The blades granted Eliza a vision, herself the leader of the largest pirate fleet ever to exist. Having conquered all the high seas and the nations of Azeroth, the Bloodsail, under her command, slaughtered any they came across, including rival pirates, and became a deadly menace on the high seas. Over time, as the power of the Dreadblades grew, so Eliza's crew changed. Their bodies withered away, leaving only an undead skeleton crew. Eventually, it was other Bloodsails who intervened. By the time Legion came around, at least some Bloodsails seemed to have made peace with Booty Bay. Those based around the pirate town are ruled by Fleet Admiral Thetis and are affiliated with the Uncrowned, a secret rogue order that works in the shadows to influence Azeroth, and who helped the fight against the Legion. It was Tets who sent a rogue champion to kill Eliza, putting an end to the Reign of Terror and claiming the Dreadblades for herself. I think the Bloodsail Buccaneers are that classic pirate group that I honestly remember the most playing back when I was a little kid playing WoW. Going to Booty Bay, seeing the Bloodsail pirates all around it, killing them at those beaches, doing those quests. The Bloodsails definitely bring back some nostalgia for me when I talk about pirates. The Blackwater Raiders are the basically opposing faction to the Bloodsail Buccaneers. The Blackwater Raiders are a pirate faction based out of Booty Bay, which is under their protection. They are closely affiliated with the goblin organization, the Steamwheeled Cartel, which controls Booty Bay, along with several other towns across Azeroth. Unlike the Bloodsail, the Blackwater Raiders have a reputation for being honorable and for killing only when necessary. They are led by Goblin Baron Brivilgaz and his fleet master Torin Seahorn. Some Blackwater Raiders were in Gilneas when it closed its borders, and were infected by the Worgen Curse. Despite their reputation for killing only when necessary, Blackwater Raiders are still pirates and dangerous to deal with. When a young blue dragon, Zeros, recently found himself in debt to Baron Rivilgaz, the Baron very nearly took the scales from his hide until the far older and more impressive dragon, Senegos, intervened. We're almost to one of the best pirates of all, one of the most legendary, but before we do that, we need to talk about these guys. The North and South Sea Freebooters. The South Sea Freebooters are the pirates most seen around central Kalimdor, while the North Sea Freebooters are found in Northrend. The two groups dislike each other intensely, but since the South Sea Freebooters were introduced first and are much larger, it seems they are likely the original faction. South Sea Freebooters act as a constant annoyance to the areas like the Barrens, 1,000 Needles, and Tanaris, and they are absolutely hated by the Goblins of Ratchet. After the bombing of Theramore, Jaina Proudmoore killed all of the South Sea Freebooters of Frey Island on her way to attack Orgrimmar. Though she was eventually convinced to leave the city alone, South Sea Freebooters seem to enjoy exploration, and bands of their pirates have been found on the Timeless Isles of Pandaria, Azuna of the Broken Isles, and exploring the Isles of the Battle for Azeroth Island Expedition expansions. They were even present in Kazan, working for Trade Prince Gallywix before the eruption of Mount Kajara. The North Sea Freebooters may be a smaller group than their South Sea counterparts, but they've made up for it with being worse criminals and murderers. After raiding the ancient Vrykul burial ground of Howling Pajor, the North Sea Freebooters found themselves struggling with the cursed artifacts and spirits of the vengeful dead. Even their former leader, Jana Sterling, was reportedly driven insane by one of these artifacts. During Garrosh's trial, Warlord Zayla hired the North Sea Freebooters to attack the Temple of the White Tiger. Since the change in leadership, the pirate Annie Bond took over after arranging to have Mad John Sterling killed. They're reportedly more annoying these days and more monstrous. And last, but certainly not least, Time Captain Hooktail. Finally, we can't go on without mentioning one of the most interesting pirates we've ever encountered, Captain Kali Whipplehook, or, as many know her, Time Captain Hooktail. This Kultiran pirate queen was really an infinite dragon, a fact even her own crew were surprised to discover during the events of Shadowlands, when the broker Solea stole an artifact that was found among the ruins of the Black Empire from her. Sadly, we defeat this infinite pirate dragon, but the memory of her has never been forgotten. This would be the coolest frickin' dragon riding mount ever added to the game. Yeah, that's right, our captain is a dragon. Yeah, man. The detail in this mount is so... A dragon, an infinite dragon with an eye patch. She literally has basically the hair extension, hair locks or whatever you would call them, the same ones that you find in Pirates of the Caribbean. She has a ring and a hook for her tail. If they ever make this amount in the game, this would be like the next best thing after Invincible. I'm not biased, I'm just saying. This would be a badass mount. And I need it to happen. So I do hope somehow Captain Hooktail survived the encounter between us and we get to see her in 10.2.6. Let me tell you, if you make this amount available for whatever event they create for 10.2.6, everybody would freaking play it. Everybody would want to play it. So Blizzard, hear me out. Do it. You want your population to go up? Make this a playable mount. Make it happen.